Hello my lovelies, welcome back to Ranting with Riley. Today I just want to show you this. So I've started doing the shoulders, I think it's the left shoulder, on the front panel of the jumper. I'm not working on that today because it's now needing me to count and stuff, but I did actually put the yarn into a ball, which is so much nicer. It's less knotty. So I wanted to show you that just so that you can see I am working on it. If you're new here, welcome. I do crochet, knitting, whilst I talk random rubbish at you. Generally I talk about my cats. I like my cats. They've all had a bath today, so they might not show the faces. But today I'm going to work on this again. As you can see, if you've been watching before, I've already done a little bit more on it. It is going to be a cat blanket, so, and I'm using using a 4.5, what, focus it, 4.5 millimeter hook. I like to use slightly bigger hooks, and even so, like you can see, it's a really tight weave. If you haven't, if you like the pattern and you haven't seen my other videos, I will link it in the description, the channel where I got it from. I don't know what it's called. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I am. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but it's made up of 3 different stitches. So it's a single crochet. One sec, let me just remember. Okay, so it's a single crochet, chain 1, then a double crochet in the same stitch, except for on the ends it's a single crochet, chain 1, turn, single crochet into the first crochet stitch, and then you go into the middle on this one, and then it's single crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet into the same stitch, if that makes any sense to anybody. And then it's just that repeated along. You can tell I've been doing half double crochets. So yeah, today I'm quite hot. You can tell my hair's up and not in a very neat way. I've been cleaning because I actually feel good today. Like, I felt like I could clean, but then I got bored. So I've got the spray on in the shower whilst I record this, and then once I finish recording this I can go up and clean the shower, and hopefully it'll be a lot easier. But yeah, very clean today. Had the cats all had a shower, well, bath, but it's more of a, I don't have a shower like over the tub, nor do I have a shower hose that I can actually pull down to put on them, because I think that might be better. But yeah, it was quite funny because I had Benji in first. Thank you, Scar. I had Benji in first because he's the scariest one, so if he has to go last, he's really tricky to catch. So he went in first, and it took a long time to coax him into the bathroom because he doesn't like being picked up. He's not a fan of being picked up. He's not a fan of having 2 hands on him at the same time, because then there's a chance you can pick him up. He will actually want cuddles out of your reach, or when you're doing something else, so that he knows he's got an out, basically. So I conned him into the bathroom with treats, but he's also really smart, so he knows that when treats are out, it doesn't necessarily just mean he gets treats. So I got him to do some sitting, some laying down and stuff, into the bathroom so I could shut the door behind him. But Nova got himself locked in as well, and there was no chance I were opening that door until Benji had a bath. So Nova was in the bathroom with us, but he hid behind the sink and was yowling. He wasn't even getting washed. He wasn't trying to get out. He was just sat there yowling on behalf of Benji, I think, which was quite sweet of him. But Benji was very good. He was very quiet. He did escape the bath once and then put himself into a litter box when I'd finished cleaning him, so I just needed to rinse off all the soap. But, you know, that's what you get. Scar was good, as much as she can be. I didn't get scratched by any of them, so that's nice. I think they're starting to get used to it now. I know people might say, you know, you shouldn't be washing cats and all that kind of stuff. And to be fair, I only wash them when it's really necessary. And it was really necessary because they've been going out every day and they roll around in the muck and they get dirt on them. And if you ever see dirt under my fingernails, it's not that I'm a scrub, but it's because they are that dirty that when you're stroking them, you just get dirt under your fingernails and it's really like sticky dirt. So they struggle to get it off the fur as well. So they're having to get washed like every 4 weeks or something like that. But it's also good just to get them used to being washed so that when they get older, if they do start struggling, then it's not going to be a big shock to the system. They're going to know what to expect. Not that they enjoy it now, but you know, I don't expect them to enjoy it because the cats. Although Nova likes to play with water. I've had to buy specific bowls that he can't knock over because he will sit there and knock the bowl. He'll do that. The amount of times I've had to clean that bathroom floor. I know it seems weird having it in the bathroom, but it's because we had it in the hallway, which was carpeted, and he would just knock it over constantly, and carpeted floors and wet was not a good mix, but we've finally got some bowls now that he can't tip, so they are actually back out in the hallway, and then we've got some water downstairs as well, so we're good. They've got plenty of options for fresh water. But yeah, he enjoys playing with it like that, but as soon as it comes to getting wet, he's not a fan. Which is fine, each to their own. I do apologise if the lighting keeps changing. The sun's getting hidden behind clouds and then popping back out to say hi. It is again really hot today, and that's nice. Not really nice, but you know, it was fine. Yeah, what else did I want to tell you? I feel like I had something else to tell you. Hi, I've remembered what I wanted to tell you. So, I'm super excited because Chewy is coming tomorrow. If you remember Chewy, I'll put a picture here if you don't know who Chewy is. So yeah, she's coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I think. So we're going to have her in this room where I'm currently recording because we can actually close it off. So that she can get used to the smells and the actual room and the situation. And then the other cats can get used to hearing her. But she's very quiet. Her little meows are so cute. If I can manage to get them recorded, I'll put them up for you. But yeah, she's just, and she doesn't hiss. She just kind of goes like if she's trying to hiss at you. And she's so adorable. So I'm excited to go get her. So we've agreed to look after the cat and the house, and we could have stayed at the house, but I want to be at home with my cats, and my partner works from home, so it makes more sense to bring Chewy to us. And then we can just go and check the house every couple of days or so just to make sure everything's good. Anda's friend has some kind of streaming service that allows my partner to watch Ted Lasso that he's been wanting to watch. So, bonus, really. Win-win. I get to play with cats and my partner gets to watch TV. That works out nicely for us, so we're sorted for that. But yeah, washing them's not terribly big a deal, but they obviously don't like it. Nova, like, not long after I'd finished washing them all, Scar came, and she, because I was laid on the bed, and she laid on top of me, and she just was, you know, cleaning herself, because they've not been dried. It's really warm today, and we've got plenty of sunspots in the house that they can sit in and dry off, and they already go through enough trauma to actually be washed. I'm not putting them through it to be dried as well, especially because 2 of them don't actually like being brushed, so, you know, they hated the towels to be towel dried. But yeah, Scar came and she sat on my knee when she was lovely and soggy, and I think she did it as a bit of a, see, you don't like your dear kind of thing. But a little bit later on, Nova came out from under the bed because he's hiding under the bed. And then he saw me, he meowed at me, and then ran straight back under the bed again. But you know, at least Scar and Benji are brave enough to come downstairs and be in the same room as me. Even when Scar did get a brush, she was not happy, but you know, she sat with it. I think they know that I'm not doing it to be mean. I think they know that I'm doing it to make them feel better, and I think they do feel better about it after a bit. But they do concern me with, like, does anybody else have cats that sit in the sun, like, constantly? Because it kind of concerns me how much they enjoy the heat. I don't understand. Like, I'm sat here with only my fur, yeah, my fur, like, and it's pulled up so it's off my neck. And I have a top on, but it's a really loose kind of top. And I'll be honest, I'm poo bearing it. There's nothing out, like, you know, I've got underwear on, but there's nothing on my legs because I'm at home and I'm not planning on going anywhere until later on, so I don't need to be dressed yet. But they've got so much fur, and I do try and like de-shed them daily if I can. Like I said, 2 of them aren't a fan. Whenever I open the door and let them out, first thing Nova does is shouts at me because he wants to be brushed, because if I'm going to do that kind of brushing, I'd rather do it outside because it gets everywhere. And you probably have noticed already, like, is that? Yeah, like there's just cat hair everywhere because they're constantly molting. But they lay in the sun, and I kind of want to show you, but I don't want people to judge me. Look, melted cats. It's a mess. Sorry, just it's a mess. I've not finished cleaning yet. And yeah, my plant's dying. It needs a wash. It needs water. It doesn't need a wash. But yeah, Benji's got a scab on his nose again. He's got this. I think it's a bit of a nervous tick kind of thing where he licks his nose a lot, and obviously cats have got quite rough tongues, so he does end up. It does end up like pulling skin off quite a bit. So yeah, he's currently got a scabby nose, but I didn't want to do anything to help whilst he was in the bath because he was already panicking about that. So I managed to clean his eye because he got a bit of eye gunk, you know, just when you get it there. Managed to clean his eye off, but that's as far as I went with cleaning his face, because I didn't want to traumatize him too much. Did the basics. that was it. But yeah, does anybody have cats? If you have cats, have you ever washed them? What do you find works? I'll tell you how I do it, just in case you feel like you need to wash a cat and you don't know where to start. So if the indoor cats, I'd recommend clipping the front claws because they will get grabby. And I wash them in the bathtub because we have a separate bath and shower. So I wash them in the bathtub, but I have a smaller tub that I fill up with just warm water, just clear warm water. I've got a towel that I'll put specifically on the floor of the bath so that they've got some kind of stability, so if they're trying to walk around, they're not slipping and sliding all over the place, so they know that they can stand, because that helps them feel a bit more comfortable. If you can, get a second pair of hands, get somebody to help you. I tend to do it on my own, but sometimes I do have to call in for reinforcement. So that it just depends on the day really and how much they're kicking off. And then I've also got a spray bottle with that I actually put shampoo and the water in as well, so that I can spray it on them, which helps distribute better. It's one of those ones that if your cat's really freaked out by the sound of a squirty bottle, don't bother, just pour it on them and scrub it in. But yeah, Benji was not a fan. Benji did not like it. It's the first time I've tried that one. But Scar and Nova, they were fine with the squirting of the bottle. They just didn't like being washed. And then I've got like a cup thing that I just use to thingy. So it's best if you've got a second pair of hands to hold the cat down so that you can pour the water and scrub at the same time. I did find with Kitty, when I had to wash her at the time, we actually lived somewhere where I did have a shower that I could pull down. She actually preferred being bathed under the shower water rather than anything else. So whenever I do wash the cats, I do try and make sure that they're out of the water, and then you just put in the water on them. But the fur's really quite good at bouncing the water off, so you've got to really get in there. So it would be easier with 2 people. But I always want to wash them when it's when my partner's working, so it's my own fault, really. I could ask for help, but I always end up doing it at a bad time. So yeah, if you ever feel like you need to wash your cats, I'd definitely recommend at least a towel underneath them so that they've got purchase. Definitely a pair of hands extra if you can, and definitely a shower head to just try and get it in there. Do it quick. Have a towel ready to put them in. Wrap them up like a little burrito. They're absolutely adorable. Give them treats beforehand because they're most likely not going to take them from you after. And if you can, shut the bathroom door. So if they do run out, they're not going to run all over your house and get water everywhere. Yeah, I've tried giving Kitty a bath before when she had fleas. Oh, she was not a happy cat at all. And in fact, I used to bathe them without clothes. Like, I knew I were going to get wet. I knew I were going to get splashed. So I'd basically be washing them with just my bra on. And yeah, she managed to get out of the bath with me by using my own back as a bouncing board. And I ended up with many, many scratches down my back. Very painful, but we got her back in, got her washed off, and managed to get rid of the fleas. Yay! And I'm sorry, I know I've said the awful word that makes everybody itchy, but yeah, it's a thing. That's the only really reason I had to wash Kitty, and then after that she had, when she did need an extra bit of help, she had really quite bad arthritis, and I didn't want to put her through that, so I'd just brush her instead because she didn't mind me brushing. So it weren't too bad. But yeah, I'm worried about Benji when he gets older because he's got a lot of fur and he does get a lot of mats. And he's kind of gotten scared of being brushed. He used to love it, and now he's not a fan, so I don't know what I've done to him to make him scared, or whether it's just something that happens. But yeah, I feel like I've rambled on a lot about my cats today. But they're on my mind, and Chewy's coming tomorrow, and I wanted them all nice and clean for tomorrow. Although they are going to probably go out tonight and probably get mucky again, but at least it's not super mucky. And when they're all dried, they should smell like peaches, because currently they smell like wet cat, and surprisingly, to me at least, wet cat smells worse than wet dog. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about wet cat that smells worse than wet dog. So if you don't have cats and you ever wondered what they smell like wet, if you know what a wet dog smells like, that, but worse. So yeah, I shall head off now. I have a shower to clean. But thank you for joining me once again. Have a lovely day. You can check out my Instagram if you want, but I'll be honest, I've not been very good at updating it. But if you enjoy this kind of content, if you want to hear me talk about something other than my cats, let me know. If you like it, give me a like. But yeah, comments, I much appreciate them. Thank you very much, and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.